I'm going to show you guys how to do skin tones on people in Photoshop. So I'm going to start with this little guy here. I love this shot. It's so cute. But I need to work on his skin tone a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in, get a little closer. And I've already cleaned up his skin quite a bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to this little circle down here on your layers tool. You're gonna grab curves, and then you're gonna have this box over here pop up. You're gonna grab the hand tool, and then you're gonna go into the RGB. This is always at default too. So you have red, greens, or blues. I'm gonna start with the blues. You're gonna hold down shift and you're gonna target a little bit of his skin. So you want to do it where it's a little lighter. So like here's a good spot. Up here's a good spot. I'm going to start here. Sometimes I'll select multiple places. And what you want to do is, this is your info box here. And you're going to be looking at yellow, magenta, and cyan. You're going to go into this box that you made by holding down shift and clicking on his skin. And you're going to see where your numbers are. Mine are looking pretty good because this is the guide that you want to follow. So you want your yellows within 1 to 3% of your magentas. So let's see where ours are at. So let's see. All right. So you're going to hold down Alt. And you're going to hover over that middle circle, that little middle dot in the circle. So you're going to hover over that, and then you're going to look down at your info bar. That mine is down to the right again. Right now I have yellows at 33%, and I have magentas at 35%, and I have cyans at 15%. So you want your yellows to be within 1 to 3% of your magentas, and you want your yellows to be higher than your magentas. So I'm going to bring this up by 2%. You're going to go over here. You're going to go to your blue channel and your hand, and you're going to click and drag, and you'll see that start moving. So right now that looks better. I'm at 36% on yellows, 35% on magentas, and 15% on cyans. So cyans can either be a half or a third of magentas. And right now I'm at a half. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to leave it. So what I'm going to do now is paint it on the baby by hitting Control and I on a Windows. And then I'm going to come in and I'm just going to paint that on at 100%. And it's not much different than his skin tone now because it wasn't very off. And then I'm going to make sure I do that everywhere that I can see his skin. All right, I'm going to click that off. See how he looks a little more magenta? And now he's got a little bit of a warmer tone. I always check a couple spots just to make sure because babies can have different skin tones in different areas. So I'm going to check this spot too. I'm going to hold down shift and click. Once again, it's about 2% under on the yellows, but everything else looks good. So I'm going to go to my blue, hold this and start dragging up or down, and you'll see which direction it's going. So right now that looks great, 36, 35, and 16. I'm going to bring my reds down just a little, just because he needs There we go, 39, 38, and 15. So now I'm going to hit Control I, and I'm going to paint it on with a white brush. So this, I'm going to only paint in the areas that I feel like are a little cooler. So like here, here, probably along the side of his face. You can kind of spot check a few places too. That looks pretty good. What about his legs? Yeah, they're pretty on. I may put a little on this foot here. Last thing I would do would be to come in and remove the red from the baby. He just has a little bit of red. So I have an action called Red Nose / Ears, and I got that in the Greater Than Gatsby collection. That's one of my action sets. And so I have my opacity of my brush at 52%. I'm just going to come in and just kind of spot check some of these areas that are a little too red. Okay, a little bit on the hands, little feet. And a little on this hand. Then I would just turn that down a little on the opacity over here. And now the skin tone looks pretty good to me. I'm pretty happy with it.